And we're back. Okay, so we are now heading out into the wilds again, and we are going to be heading across this vehicle gate to make sure you've got the vehicle with you, you've got the toxic goo as I said in the last one. And, you know, they've put lots of bits and pieces for you to run over. And so this is kind of improving this lambda cache idea, this radar you can see on the screen there, is sort of adding to this concept of alright, I know, shut up. Is the, you know, this concept of stopping, investigating, finding things out, and you're not gated. Once again, Alex is sort of recommending you do it, but she's not forcing you to. You could charge you all the way through this, or you can get out and start investigating. And so they give you, every single one of these lambda caches has a mini game associated to it, and it's this mini game concept that I keep coming back to, that I love so much about Half-Life 2. So you just keep coming up with new combinations and ways of having fun. So you can see you've got a zombie on the top, a couple of barrels which are normally physics props. You can pick them up and throw around, but these ones are embedded in the floor, so you can't move them, and they're fixed. We can see the goodies inside, but how do we get to them? And I think that they're really just kind of giving you the concept. It's a little training puzzle almost. There you go. I
guess you cleared up that little problem.
And okay, so we can't get in there, but we can use the gravity again to fish stuff out, right? I think. I guess not. Trying to remember. Hang on. Do that. Ooh. I'm making a bit of a hash of this, but you get the idea. You can basically, and I think anything like this where you can use the gravity gun and the physics engine to just, you know, have the player fiddle around with stuff and get to things, I think that's really cool. Now, the other thing I love about this area, oh, what's going on here? We've got a zombie way off there. Alex is freaking out, it's miles away. You deal with him. Look at this, behind these fences, so we blew that up, and I'm not sure if that explodes part of this fence or whether this was already exploded, but we've got sort of like, yeah, it's basically a target range that's been set up for us to have fun with. Oh, hello. This is, you know, just utterly pointless. It adds nothing. I don't know if there's an achievement associated to it, or what have you, but let's find out. But they're this to me is why the pistol's a bit of a cop out, as I said in a previous video. There you go. No, there's no achievement. Oh, unless it's that one. No. I'm going to get killed as a result of playing around. But all the way through this section, there are little mini games set up, which you know, are there for you to play with and just have fun with, and it's fantastic. And so many, I mean, it's hard to build mods and stuff like that, but just to tinker around with physics props and that kind of thing, and physics elements, you know, hanging things from strings and that kind of thing, is just had so much more fun. And hopefully they're all, you know, tiny little bits. And if you are a map maker, I recommend you just spend time at home just building little test areas and throwing in silly stuff like this. And next time you build a map, you can just put these bits in and just sort of stick them around the edges. And if players want to find them, they can. They just add so much replay value to these. I mean, episode 2 isn't hugely long, but it's just filled with all these little great bits that have kept me coming back and replaying it from time to time. And every time I play it, I have fun.
We're picking up something on the radar.
Okay, I like this one. This is another really good bit. In fact, all of these little lambda caches are really nicely designed bits of gameplay. Okay. So, so that was quite cleverly done. I mean, obviously, we know that the floorboards may not be obvious to pick up. The saw blade obviously we know we can pick up saw blades, so we've already been taught that. And so they took a behaviour that we already knew. Oh wow, I forgot how much stuff there is here. They took a behaviour we already knew and used it to guide us to something else.
I think the zombies want their stuff back.
That's a very funny line as well. Ooh. Oh. Okay. I thought there was a way to get on the roof of this building. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh. So once again, I mean, I'm playing this on easy after what I learned yesterday. I'm trying to do instructional videos with with the game set to hard, but even then, you know, these kind of areas are not dangerous. You're not really losing that much health. You're just having fun, and it's fantastic. I think one of the harder things is to figure out, well, you know, what kind of pickups can I give to the player that aren't going to be... Obviously, if you're constantly giving the player health the whole time, which they do, really, in this game, there's so much health lying around, you're really never that much in danger of dying. But the health is still used as a breadcrumb kind of pickup thing for you to go exploring. Oh, there's one cache I didn't find. It's interesting. It's a lesson to be learned there about putting two caches together. Or is this a rocket launcher? So yeah, like for example, you know, here is health, and they're using it as a breadcrumb. They're saying, hey, you can jump in here, you can get in here. This is genius. This is absolutely fantastic. This particular one, for anyone who doesn't know how to do this or missed it, it's using the physics engine to, you know, in a completely different way, a way that we haven't really been able to see. And it's kind of similar to rocket jumping back in the original Half-Life or Quake. It's just using the recoil to throw you up. Got it. And you know, and the reward for figuring this out, because I think that does take quite a lot, is the rocket launcher, which is not available in anywhere else. I think in episode 2. I think this is the only place you can get it. So you know, it's quite a bonus. I think there's a hint, obviously, of it because you see rocket launcher rockets back at the stash back there, but you don't have a rocket launcher, so it's kind of well, there's definitely one around. I just don't know where it is.
Rocket launcher. That'll come in handy.
Okay, and so yeah, as I say, the land the cache thing they added really just sort of made that exploration bit, which may not have come naturally to everybody, more of a natural part of the gameplay. I think, and Alex prompting you to do it. Okay, let's see where we end up now. I'm trying to keep these videos a bit shorter, so we might end this one and start again in a second with the next section. Here we go. So, I mean, connecting your... This is a good point to be made, actually. We didn't talk about it in Half-Life 2, but connecting your levels together using tunnels, the way we've been doing, there's a particular technique you can use to white out the screen until you get close to it, so that that you sort of have that daylight shining. This is important because, as I said before, that's the same kind of tunnel look and feel that we saw from Half-Life 2, maybe a bit more complex. But what they've done is, this is not a standard Combine door that can be opened, because that might imply that the goal of this door is to open it. What they've done is, you can see they've just used those sort of Combine panels to absolutely block this off and say this is not the way we're going. I think signposting like that is really, really important to the player. And this is quite a good one because we first pick up this lambda cache right down here, but it's actually on the switchback much further up. I think this is the one that's up in the trees. Or maybe it's all the way over there. Maybe I'm wrong. I can be and am wrong from time to time. I think, was that the way up? Definitely missed something. I'll take a look at it. I think this is the one that's hanging in the trees. I quite like this one. Or it might be the one in the cave. Oh, it's the one in the cave. So you can see, once again, we're snaking back and forth through a big environment, but the road itself is snaking us back and forth and getting the most out of the environment that they've designed. There's a little cave thing, like grotto thing in here. I think, yeah, here it is. Once again, gravity gunning. Dead bodies. I'm trying to remember if this is like sort of the hidden couple. I've never actually found the singing Vortigern in Half-Life 2, so obviously this one they lead you straight to it by the nose, but adding little bits like this into your maps can be fun. I mean, it depends on how many people play them. I've added hidden areas to my maps that no one has ever found, and that's a little disappointing, because I made the mechanism to find them too obscure. No one's ever going to do it. Unless they knew it was there, they're not going to do it. So, you know, there are ways to signpost this stuff. And I think it has to be quite unsubtle for them to make it. So, for example, you could have a video monitor showing an area of the map which they have not encountered before. It has to be a pretty big video monitor, but it's there, and you know, you can show actually someone in it that might make a, you know, inquisitive player think, well, where the hell is that? You know, or you know, anything like that. I'm not sure, but something to sort of guide the player to these areas if possible and try and make them fairly blatant. So before we get into this big fight and this extra scene, I'm going to stop the video and start a new one.